health realm is balance, right? So we use something called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and we always talk about wanting to be in alignment. So I like to use 3 points: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, right? So when all three of them are in alignment with each other, you're in a pretty good space. That's when you're able to function, you're sleeping well, you're able to communicate with people, you're not grumpy, you're able to get tasks done. But what about those moments where your thoughts are all the way up here? And have you ever been in a place where you're just sitting and you start with one thought and then they just keep going and you have a whole story created by the time you realize that your mind is just going? So now your feelings are up here, right? So you're super anxious. You may be pacing, your heart palpitations is going, the sweats are coming, and now you're trying to figure out, how do I bring my thoughts and my feelings back down here so then I can do something, right? Because then your actions, you're kind of stuck, right? You're in this freeze phase and you're not doing anything about it. So one of the good things, I guess we can segue into some of the coping tools a little bit, is you got to do something about it, right? You can't just sit there and be stuck in, and I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, there were times where I would sit there and then I'll just start crying because I'm just sitting there and letting my thoughts in my mind just go. And you're not hearing thoughts, you're not hearing voices, but your mind is talking to you, right? You're not going to be able to come out of this. Things are going to be the same. I'm not going to be able to get a job again when this is over. Oh, I'm going to catch COVID. Oh, I'm going to walk outside and I'm going to be so afraid. Like, everything just keeps coming and then they're rolling, right? And so one of the biggest things for me was getting active, right? So we're giving you some practical tools to do. I think somebody just said CBT. Can you reinstate that again? Cognitive behavioral therapy. Dr. Taylor, do you want to talk in a little more detail on what CBT is? Or
yeah, so it's a theoretical framework that we use in the clinical world. It's where we try to get people to change their negative thinking patterns, right? Those negative behaviors and there's those feelings and emotions. We're not saying that you don't need to experience it, because we do give everybody permission to feel what's going on for them, like anxiety. But when you see yourself start ruminating, I mentioned the word ruminations, or start experiencing these intrusive thoughts, you want to catch that. You want to catch it right there. And that's what CBT does. It tries to get you to turn that negative thinking, as we term it, into positive thinking. Okay, so instead of I'm going to die, no, I'm going to live, and I'm going to take each day one day at a time, and I'm going to do something about it. And because I feel anxious, I acknowledge and validate that I'm anxious right now, but I'm going to do something about it. Like, I'm going to get up and take a walk, like the doctor requires me to do every day, at least 20 minutes, right? Because you'll find, and we'll get into that again, that exercise really helps. So Shanice was talking about being active. Absolutely, exercising is good for our mental and physical health.
Thank you for that, Dr. Taya. So one of the things we can do, let's do an exercise together real quick. How about that? So there's this technique we call 4-7-8, and it's a technique we use when you're feeling anxious, and it helps center yourself. So we talk a lot about mindfulness, being mindful of where you're at in the moment. And if you're somewhere that you don't want to be, there's tools that you can do to kind of pull yourself back in and ground and center yourselves. So there's one thing I like to do. It's called 4-7-8. Some people don't really like meditation because you have to be silent and you're sitting in your thoughts and how you're feeling. But there's things you can do, like do mantras or chants, like this too shall pass. Like, I've sat there and listened to quiet music, and I just kept saying, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And what you're doing is you're then putting in positive thoughts into your mind. And you're going to catch yourself during the day grocery shopping or out talking to somebody, and you're going to hear, this too shall pass. So you have to implant those things into you. But the 4-7-8. So you're gonna breathe in for 4 counts, you're gonna hold for 7 counts, and then you're gonna release for 8 counts very slowly. So just do that with me just really quick. So we're gonna breathe in for 4, hold, and release. And so you can do that as many times as you need to, right? Let's do it again. Breathe in for 4. Hold it in for 7. And release. So I don't know about you, but for me, if that itself just brought a sense of calmness and peace to me. So those are things you can do. Nobody doesn't even need to know that you're doing it. So if you're out in places and you're around people, like I think there was a comment about like, how do you integrate back into the community when this is all over? Like I've experienced anxiety some days just going into the grocery store now, and I have to do a little deep breathing while I'm going down those aisles. You're fine, Shanice. All is well. You're going to use that hand sanitizer when you get to that car, though. Right? So, yeah. So other coping tools. I'm sorry. I think you're on mute. I'm going to take you off.
Can I add to when it comes to meditation, and you did a great exercise about centering ourselves and being mindful, which like you said, and I want to reiterate, being in the present moment, being in the here and now without distraction. And so when you begin to engage meditation, it is important that you're in a very relaxed state. So I like to tell clients, even when we're engaging and I get a client that is very anxious, because let me tell you something about anxiety. Anxiety can permeate an entire environment. I've had clients come into my office that were way up here, and it was my job to try to not only validate that experience, but give them permission to just breathe. You're safe. You're okay. We're going to take this thing together. We're going to take it one at a time. But I said all that to say, make sure you center your feet on the floor wherever you're sitting, to try to sit upright, because there's something special about our diaphragm. When we're breathing, you want to take a deep breath in and then exhale. Right? So you want to make sure you're sitting upright, your feet are on the floor, and that maybe your hands are comfortably sitting on your lap. Okay? So be mindful of that, because breathing looks very different if I'm slunched over opposed to sitting upright. Okay? So if you can just remember that as well.
That's very good. Other things to do that are practical are getting out and going for walks. So yes, we are currently under shelter in place. We are asked to refrain from socializing with people in close proximity, but you do have the opportunity to get out of your home, right? And go for a nice walk. The weather has been so nice. We're out here in California. I don't know if people are watching from other areas, but find a nice area to walk. Go by the water and walk, or sit for a second and you can meditate. It's something about smelling flowers for me outside. Like springtime brings, it's just a thought of newness and you feel freshness. So being outside and smelling, like it rained a little bit today, going outside and smelling fresh rain, it just does something for me. Exercising. So maybe you're saying, oh, walking's not enough. Exercising is a really good way to release stress. So there are things online, Orange Theory. I'm a part of Orange Theory. They're offering free classes on Zoom. You're talking about a great 30-minute high intensity workout section. You can go on there for 30 minutes, sweat your heart out. I promise you will feel so much better. There's Zumba. If you ever thought about wanting to take a dance class at the gym and you just were like, I'm a little shy, I don't feel comfortable being in front of people, there are so many free things happening right now on YouTube, between dance classes, kickboxing, boxing classes, martial arts. There's yoga. Yoga is also a really good class to take, and that helps with centering and help you release your mind and focus on other things too. So getting active. Other things, I am a candle person. I don't know if you can see this that well, but this is a eucalyptus mint candle. So this is Bath and Body Works. They have aromatherapy candles. You can find these anywhere. And you can burn these in your office, at home, but the scent of it helps with releasing stress. It also helps with focus. So there's different types of candles out there, different scents that do different things. So I would say definitely try and get you a candle. I don't know if you see me sipping on tea while we're here. Tea is very good. Green tea, lavender. You got your tea, Dr. Sam? It's very good.